the dark, kindle the spark in me.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Flicker. We're continuing to take a look at Jesus' teachings on what matters and how we live out our lives in light of who God is and what we now call the Sermon on the Mount. So we've been working our way through what we call the 6th chapter of Matthew's Gospel, and I brought you out here to the church's security system as a reminder, a little bit of storytelling. We built this building about 10 years ago, and when the building was still under construction, not even finishing, not even permanent locks on the doors yet, there was a break-in. We came in one day and saw in one of the windows there had been a window pulled open and there were muddy footprints all over what was an empty shell of a building. And at that point, everybody in the church realized, you know what? We're up here in a remote spot. If somebody wanted to do some real damage, they could get in and take stuff. So we had to end up getting a security system. But at that moment, it occurred to me, we also have to make a choice, us as a congregation, maybe each of us as individual Christians too, about where we place the things that are precious to us. Because no matter what, the security system only offers so much security, to be honest. And thieves, if they are determined to get something, if they think they've got something worth taking inside a building, they're going to find a way to do it, especially in a building in a location like ours where it would be easy for someone to sneak up when nobody's sleeping in the building during the course of the week. If someone was determined to come and take stuff, they could. And as we live through that important decision about, all right, do we get a security system? What other steps do we have to take? What do we need to do? How much fear should we live in that someone might come and take our stuff? I heard the words of Jesus echoing in my mind. Because in the next place here in the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus says, rather matter-of-factly, don't store up your treasures where moth can destroy, or rust can corrupt, or thieves can break in and take stuff. Instead, Jesus says, store up for yourselves what he calls treasures in heaven, where there's no moths and no rust and no thieves can come in and take and destroy things. Then Jesus goes on to say, because where your treasure is, your heart will be also. We got to decide. We had to decide here in this church building, in this congregation, years ago, how much we were going to pin our identity on a building or the stuff inside the building. And okay, whatever measures we could take that would reasonably keep our building safe, fine. But it forced us to ask a difficult question. How much do the structures, the buildings, the things that cost money, how much do we put ourselves and our identity in those? And maybe where should we really be placing our energy, our time, our love? The things that you treasure, move your heart toward them. And if all we are ever concerned about as church folk is our buildings, is our concrete brick and mortar buildings, or how much money we have, or the fancy things we keep up on the altar, those things all eventually do break down. They get rust or moths or can be stolen. At some point, all those things fade away. When we built this building here 10 years ago, a lot of folks thought, there's long-term thinking. They're thinking about the church 30, 40 years from now, how nice it will be. They'll have a nice, new, shiny building. But to be honest, we really need to be thinking way bigger picture. 50, 100 years, eternity down the line. The difference you can make in how you touch people's lives with the good news of Jesus lasts, and ripple effects that go out and out and out and out beyond just 10 years, 20 years, 30 or 40 years. Maybe it's worth every day re-examining, what am I spending myself on? I'm not here to tell you whether you should or shouldn't get a security system for your house, or if you go to a church, whether you should or shouldn't have a security system at your church. But I do mean to say, it's worth asking, what are the things that I treasure most? And how is that shaping, pulling along my heart? How is that affecting the kind of person I'm becoming? Jesus says it, where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Your heart sort of follows along wherever we place what is most important to us. If that's reducible to stuff, eventually that all gets sold or lost or destroyed or burned in the fire. But it is possible to value people. It is possible to value God. It is possible to value a life that is lived in love more importantly than any of that other stuff. And when that happens, nobody can take that away. No moth can get to it, and it is unable to be rusted like stainless steel. Maybe it's worth asking, not just today, but every day, where am I investing myself, my love, my time, my energy? And is it on something that will last? Jesus simply tells us, spend your energy, spend your life on things that will matter, on things that will last. Join us for more conversation next time here in Flicker. Bye.